The Tudor house and gardens in Southampton have a new display of archaeological finds that were excavated fairly recently in Hamwick, the Saxon town in the city. Archaeology officer Matt Garner shared more about Hamwick.
There was a Roman settlement in Southampton in the area that's now Bitton Manor on the east bank of the River Itchen. And after the Roman settlement disappeared, we don't have much evidence of people in the area of Southampton for about 200 years. And then in the 7th century, people started living in the St Mary's area on the west bank of the Itchen. And the earliest evidence we have is a cemetery found at the St Mary's Stadium site, and that dates to about the middle of the 7th century. Hamwick was a very important place. It was one of the biggest towns in England in the Middle Saxon period, and it had a wider significance in that it traded with quite a few different parts of northwestern Europe, and some of the objects on display here we know came from other countries, what are today France and Germany and Scandinavia.
Matt has over 30 years' experience working on Southampton City Council archaeological projects, many of them in the Saxon town, and appreciates what finds people can look forward to.
There are some particularly exciting objects that have been found in the last 10 years or so that are on display here. For instance, evidence of a goldsmith working in Southampton. On one site in St Mary's Street, we found a black stone, which we believe to be a touchstone, because it's got little traces of gold on it, so it was used to test the purity of gold. And next to it, we found a small fragment of a crucible, which is a small pot that was used to heat metal, and it's got droplets of gold in it. And these things found side by side are pretty good evidence that a goldsmith worked in St Mary's Street over 1,000 years ago.
Passionate about bone artefacts, we asked Matt to share some of his personal favourites.
Hair combs made out of bone and antler, and there are 3 in this case here. 2 of them on the right are double-sided, and the other one is single-sided. With the double-sided ones, the teeth on one side tend to be very small and would work quite well as knit combs, which is what I assume they were used for in Saxon times. And these combs are made out of lots of different pieces of bone and antler that are then held together with iron rivets. Unfortunately, when they're in the ground, the iron tends to rust and expand, and they make the combs fall apart. So most of these combs have been stuck back together again by archaeologists to make them look complete.
This is Shan Robins for Solent News Now.